Good day everyone. My name is Sophia P. Camacho from VTPTED 2N80. Our topic for today is from information sheet number 2 and it's about refrigerant and its oil. Learning outcomes. After reading this information sheet, you must be able to number 1 understand the refrigerant types and its compound or oil. Introduction. Refrigerant is a low-pressure gas that is stored in copper coils. Copper is fantastic for heat transfer, which is why it's used in so many applications. The heat in the air gets absorbed by the copper coils and the refrigerant inside. The now hot gas becomes a liquid and is moved outside the device with fans, where it eventually cools down and becomes a gas again. The constant cycle pushed by fans moves the cold air into the desired space, fridge, home, car, and the hot air outside. Refrigerants are substances that can remove heat from body or process fluid by, by vaporization, and also is the fluid used for heat transfer in a refrigerating system that absorbs heat during evaporation from the region of low temperature and pressure and releases heat during condensation at a region of higher temperature and pressure. 1.1 Purpose of refrigerant. Basic theory of cooling. We feel a little cold even on a hot day after swimming. This is because the water on the body takes away the heat when it evaporates from the body. For the same reason, we feel cool when we apply alcohol to our arms. The alcohol takes away the heat from the arms when it evaporates. We can make object cooler using this natural phenomena. Example given by causing a liquid to take the heat from a substance when it's evaporates. Yes, I agree with this situation. That's what you call convecting. So what is convecting? Convecting occurs when heat is carried away from your body via moving air. If the surrounding is cooler than your skin, the air will absorb your heat and rise. As the warm air rises around you, cooler air moves in to take its place and absorb more of your warmth. A container provided with a top is placed in a well-isolated box. A liquid that will vaporize readily at atmospheric temperature is placed in the container. When the top is open, the liquid in the container will take away the heat necessary for vaporization from the air inside the box, turn into a gas and escape outside. At this time, the temperature of the air inside the box will become lower than that before the top was open. And also, the purpose of refrigerant is a compound typically found in either a fluid or gaseous state. It readily absorbs heat from the environment and can provide refrigeration or air conditioning when combined with other components such as compressors and evaporators. What is refrigerant? Refrigerant is a heat-exchanging substance that circulates in the refrigerant cycle. It removes the heat when it evaporates and releases its heat when it liquidizes. So, a refrigerant is a working fluid used in the refrigeration cycle of air conditioning system and heat pumps wherein most cases they undergo a repeated phase transition from a liquid to a gas and back again. The example of refrigerant is a substance used in a heat cycle to transfer heat from one area and remove it to another, usually a gas at room temperature. Other common refrigerants used in various applications are ammonia, sulfur dioxide, and a non-halogenated hydrocarbon such as propane. And also, a refrigerant used is a chemical compound that is used as the heat carrier, which changes from gas to liquid and then back to gas in the refrigeration cycle. Required condition of refrigerant. For refrigerant for car air conditioning, the following conditions are required. Ease of evaporation and liquidization. Vaporization is the process in which a liquid is converted to a gas. Evaporation is the conversion of a liquid to its vapor below the boiling temperature of the liquid. Safety that is associated with the use of refrigerant in refrigeration and air conditioning equipment can include toxicity, flammability, asphyxiation, and physical hazard. Scientific stability and the quality do not change. 2.2 Types of refrigerant. Refrigerant 12 or R12. Chemical composition. Refrigerant R12 or Freon 12 is said to be the most widely used of all the refrigerants being used for different applications. The chemical name of refrigerant R12 is dichlorodifluoromethane, and its chemical formula is CCI2F2. The molecular weight of R12 is 120.9 and its boiling point is 21.6 degree Fahrenheit. Since R12 has the molecules of chlorine and fluorine, and it's called as chlorofluorocarbon or CFC. So what is characteristics of R12? R12 is highly stable chlorofluorocarbon, and it does not disintegrate even under the extreme operating conditions. However, if it is both brought in a contact with the flame of fire or the electrical heat elements, it disintegrates into the toxic products. R12 has the boiling point of negative 21.6 degree Fahrenheit or negative 29.8 degree Celsius, due to which it condensed as the moderate pressure at the atmospheric temperature. This means the discharge pressure of the compressor should be moderate so as to produce the condensation of the refrigerant in the condenser at the atmospheric temperature. This helps in using the compressor of low compression ratio that has higher efficiency. Due to this property of refrigerant R12, it is used in wide range of applications like high temperature, medium temperature, and low temperature applications. It can be used with all types of compressors like reciprocating, centrifugal, and rotary. Refrigerant R12 is miscible with the compressor oil under all the operating conditions. There are two advantages of this property of R12. Firstly, there is no problem of the oil return back to compressor. Some particles of the oil from compressor tend to get carried away with the discharge refrigerant because of the property of miscibility of R12. These particles return back to the compressor easily. The second advantage of miscibility is that the refrigerant flowing through the condenser and the evaporator is free of the oil particles. The oil particles within the refrigerant reduce the heat transfer from it, but such problem does not occur with R12 refrigerant. Due to this, the heat transfer capability or capacity of the condenser and evaporator is increased, which ultimately helps increase the efficiency of the refrigerant plant. So the use of R12 in domestic refrigerators and freezers, liquid chillers, dehumidifiers, ice mix, water cooler, water fountains, and transport refrigerator. Safety precaution in handling R12. Refrigerant R12 is non-toxic, non-flammable, and non-explosive. This makes it highly popular from domestic as well as to commercial applications. Thus, whenever there is leakage of R12 refrigerant, it is advised to put all the flames off and keep the doors open so that it can escape to the open atmosphere. R12 is most widely used refrigerant. Unfortunately, it is the CFC and it has unusually high potential to cause the depletion of the ozone layer. R12 is being replaced by other refrigerant and some of the suggested replacement for R12 are R134A, R401A, and R401B. Also, it's used for wide range for refrigeration and air conditioning application, though in many air conditioning application, it is now replaced by R12 or R22 refrigerant. Refrigerant 134A or R134A chemical composition. The refrigerant R134A is the chemical compound tetrafluoroethane comprising of two atoms of carbon, two atoms of hydrogen, and four atoms of fluorine. Its chemical formula is CF3CH2F. The molecular weight of refrigerant R134A is 133.4 and its boiling point is negative 15.1 degree Fahrenheit. Characteristic of R134A. For the evaporator, temperatures of negative 7 degrees Celsius and above the isentropic discharge temperature from the compressor for both the refrigerant is same. The total horsepower required per ton of refrigeration is also the same. R134A is suitable for low temperature application for the instance where the saturation temperature is negative 15.08 degree Fahrenheit at the standard barometric pressure, and if the evaporator temperature is below 0 degree Fahrenheit. For the pressure in the evaporator will be still well above the vacuum. Thus, The refrigerant R134A can be used for the low temperature applications, also without the need to produce vacuum in low pressure side of the refrigeration system. The heat transfer coefficients for refrigerant R134A are higher than R12 in different conditions depending on the temperature. R134A is higher by 27 to 37%, and if they are in gaseous phase, it is higher by 37 to 45%. Oil is used as the lubricant in the compressor of the refrigeration and the air conditioning system. When refrigerant is sucked and discharged by the compressor, it picks up some oil particles. It is important that the refrigerant is miscible with the oil so that it can be easily separated from it. The refrigerating effect produced by 1 pound of R134A is about 22% more than that produced by R12. Thus, the mass flow rate of the R134A required per ton of refrigeration is about 18% lesser than R12. This means for the given capacity of the refrigeration system, the amount of 134A required is 18% less than if R12 was used. So the 134A along with 134A came a new oil, polyalkyl glycol or PAG oil. Safety precaution in handling R134A. 134A is hydrofluorocarbon or HFC that has zero potential to cause the depletion of the ozone layer and very little greenhouse effect. R134A is the non-flammable and non-explosive, has toxicity within limits and good chemical stability. It has somewhat high affinity for the moisture. Thus, the refrigerant R134A can be used for the low temperature application, also without the need to produce vacuum in low pressure side of the refrigeration system. R134A is miscible with the synthetic oil or lubricant. Thus, when the refrigeration equipment is being altered for the use of R134A instead of R12, all the mineral oil should be removed from the system and it should be replaced with ester-based synthetic oil. Types of refrigerant oil. R12 use mineral oil or alkyl benzene oil. Mineral oils for the lubrication of refrigeration compressors have been developed to a high level of performance and have served with distinction over a wide range of applications. However, in some cases, the demands of refrigeration system have exceeded the ability of mineral oils to perform adequately. Alkyl benzenes have been found to offer improved performance in refrigeration system, both with respect to better oil return and better high temperature stability. Typical properties of an alkyl benzene oil are compared with those of a mineral oil with about the same viscosity. The viscosity at the standard reference temperature of 100 degree Fahrenheit and 210 degree Fahrenheit is similar for both oils. In the example shown, the change in viscosity with temperature seems to be slightly less for the alkyl benzene than the mineral oil, but this difference is not considered significant. R134A used POE oil is a type of synthetic oil used in refrigeration compressor that is compatible with the refrigerant R134A, R410A, and R12. It is recommended by experts as a replacement of hydrofluorocarbons or HFCs. Along with R134A, POE oil is recommended as a replacement for R12 mineral oil. R R134A does not mix well with mineral oil. These wax-free oils are suggested for use with chlorine-free HFC system as they provide better lubrication and stability and are more miscible with HFC refrigerants. They can meet the lubricity requirements to those of minerals oils used in CFC and HFC. They are compatible with most lubricants in the market. It is noted that the viscosity of the oil decreases with temperature. The dispersion behavior of this oil has also been the subject of a lot of study. It is also considered by some to be a good additive to engine oil. There is another kind of oil called polyol ester oil (POE). The advantage of ester oil is that it works with both R12 as well as 134A, so you can fill the system with it and use either refrigerant. POE oil is the type of synthetic oil used in refrigeration compressor that is compatible with the refrigerant R134A, R410A, and R12. Is there oil is 134A? Yes, there is oil in the system to keep the compressor lubricated, and it is carried throughout the system in the refrigerant, and it is usually added when the system is charged. So that's all. Thank you.